to the Far East, and it's been a week of intense sessions in sweltering heat out there. The next milestone on their pre-season campaign is just around the corner as the Ekitike Stadium in Hong Kong plays host to Liverpool against AC Milan today. And it's not just for fun today, there is a bit of silverware up for grabs too. The Standard Chartered Trophy will be going home with the winners between the Reds and the Rossoneri. It all gets underway at 12:30 today and it's live right here on LFC TV. Yeah, welcome along to Matchday Live and a warm welcome to Gary Gillespie and Neil Mellor, who are alongside me in the studio for this one. A big thanks to you as well for joining us on Matchday Live today. Now, if you're watching us on All Red Video, LFC TV or YouTube memberships, the live match is going to follow on from this build-up show. However, if you're watching on social media or our free YouTube channel, due to rights restrictions, your stream will end before kick-off. To find out how to watch the match, go to our website at video.liverpoolfc.com. Further details are on screen throughout the show today. Now, of course, the game takes place over in Hong Kong at the recently completed Ekitike Sport Park Stadium. That is where Peter McDowell is now. Peter.
And welcome to the Ekitike Stadium. It's been very hot here this week. You'll have seen that in the training sessions. Temperatures down here pitchside around about 30 degrees with 78% humidity. But, and this is the key, aside from the sprinklers, the roof is closed, which means that inside here it will be an awful lot cooler than it had have been in a normal stadium. It's state-of-the-art, 50,000 inside here. And speaking of cool, look who we got with us, Sami Hyypiä, Champions League winner, who's been out here as one of Liverpool's legends. And you've enjoyed the week so far, Sami?
Yeah. Like you said, outside is very hot and humid, and luckily we have had things inside, so in the air conditioning, like here at the stadium.
How big news will that come towards the players? They've obviously had the opportunity to train inside here already, but that's been the only session where they've not experienced this humidity.
Yeah, I think that kind of humidity and it's so warm that it takes something off you, and I think the players were happy to train that one session here, and the tempo here in the session looked incredible.
What about the manager now? This will be about players' sharpness, won't it, to get a little bit closer to the levels they need at Wembley for that Community Shield. But the manager will be thinking about what starting 11 might be in evidence for that first game against Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think he has a big selection of players, and probably few additions are still coming, and he needs to make a decision then from these games, these friendly games, and everyone has a chance. Everyone has a chance to start at Wembley.
How difficult is it to play in these kind of conditions? And obviously the air conditioning is on, but it will still be really tough and really warm out there tonight.
Yeah, it's not easy, and that makes these tours maybe not ideal for the preparation. That the climate is like that, but yeah, I think if you can play 90 minutes in these conditions, then at home 90 minutes in the rain won't be any problem.
How intrigued are you to see these new players in evidence tonight? We don't know which ones will start just yet, but so much talent in evidence again tonight.
Yeah, it's nice to see. And now it's the second year of Arne Slot, and maybe a year ago we were talking about that. Interesting to see how he wants the team to play, and now we have experienced that for 1 year, and now it's more maybe that how the new guys are settling in, and how can they bring their best performances on the field.
Liverpool fans everywhere, as you would expect. There've been evidence all over Hong Kong in the week leading up to this one. The air conditioning actually shoots out from underneath the seats, which makes it feel a little bit cool in here. Hence the long sleeves. We're going to get Sami a coat just in case. And also worth remembering, there were 27,000 inside here to see Liverpool train on Thursday. Arsenal played against AC Milan in a real game in Singapore, and there were only 22,000 fans there for that one. 50,000 inside here tonight that will make it feel a bit like Anfield.
We are getting wet.
Probably grateful for that rain, I think. Right, much more to come from Pete and Sammy throughout the show. But for now, let's hear from Liverpool's newest addition, 23-year-old Hugo Ekitike's whirlwind signing. Has seen him join up with his teammates over in Hong Kong. That is where he's spoken to Peter this week.
Well, Hugo, congratulations. You are a Liverpool player now. Can you tell us how that feels?
Feel very proud. Obviously, it's a big club, so yeah, I'm just excited. I'm a bit like a kid, you know. I've been dreaming to come play in the Prem and play for Liverpool. Obviously, it's a big good feeling for me, and yeah, I just can't wait to start to play games and to win trophies and have success here.
Why was this the right move for you?
I think that was the right moment. I missed in Paris. I came in Bundesliga a bit like hungry. I wanted to show that I'm a good player and I can make the difference on the pitch. And I think I did well the last season. And yeah, now I feel ready to make a bigger step and to play in the highest level, to improve myself, to see what I can do, and that's why I think it's the right timing for me and the perfect moment to come here.
You mentioned timing. Can you talk to us about the last 48 hours? It seems to happen very quickly. You're on an aeroplane, you're here, you meet your new teammates, and then you're training the next day.
Yeah, obviously, things goes quick. I signed my contract and I came straight here. Obviously, it was a long flight, but I was really excited to come here and meet everybody.
It was a nice greeting that you managed to watch a little bit of training and then met your teammates on the pitch as they were coming off.
It was, I think, the perfect way to meet people. I mean, even the legend of the club. So it was just perfect moment for me in the stadium with a lot of fans. That was huge, and I'm very grateful for this.
Arne Slot will be your new manager. How key was that first conversation you had with him that this was going to be the right fit for you and vice versa?
We had a really good first discussion together. Obviously, the coach is very human, you know, so we could talk not only about football, about everything, and you know, I find him very interesting, and I was very curious to see what I can do with him, because I think he's a really nice guy, and I can still improve and progress with him. So yeah, he's a really good coach and good person first, so that's why it makes me want to come here.
There's a picture doing the rounds of you in a yellow Liverpool shirt from the 1990s with Steven Gerrard's first number on the back. What's the story behind that?
The story behind is that I was going on vacation. Obviously, I had some trainings, and my brother, I like vintage jersey, and my brother went to the shop and he bought that one, and obviously that's part of the story. Now I'm here, but it was, yeah, I mean, maybe the first legend here in Liverpool, and so yeah, big up to him, and it's a very good jersey, by the way.
Liverpool fans will be there for you every step of the way to support you. What about a message for them? What would you say to them before we finish?
Hey fans, here Hugo Ekitike, new Scouser, and and can't wait to win and score goals for you, and just have success and have fun on the stadium, and to see you, yeah.
Well, huge congratulations, Hugo. We wish you every success.
Thank you very much.
He's got a wry little smile at the end there, which is slightly Thierry Henry-esque. I mean, the media are calling him Thierry Henry 2.0, Gary. I think that's a slightly lofty tag to live up to, but no doubt there's a real player Liverpool have got their hands on.
Well, considering that Thierry Henry was probably regarded as the best player ever to play in the Premier League, it's a little bit for, was it a 22-year-old?
He's 22, yeah.
I think it's a little bit of a tag to put on a youngster, put a little bit of pressure on him. But no, I think he's obviously French, he's tall, he's athletic. It still looks as if he's got a bit of filling out to do, to be quite honest with you. He looks a bit rangy, but it's been a fantastic move for him, and hopefully it's a successful move as well.
You can tell from that interview, Mels, he's a very cool, calm, collected customer, which of course will serve him well in front of goal.
Yeah, I think what I liked about the interview was his English is good. I always think that's really important when you are signing a player who doesn't really know the Premier League, doesn't know English football.
But wouldn't you think that they would look into that as well, like people that are signing?
Yeah, but we've also signed players who haven't been able to speak English, and I think that becomes a bit of a problem for them. But his English is good. I think what you would say about Ekitike is he's one of the most exciting young strikers in Europe at the moment, in terms of that potential to maybe be a Henry or whatever a top centre forward is. To spend that amount of money on a non-international is unusual. I don't think that happens too often. You know, he's never played for France before, albeit he's probably going to in the next year or so. He's just turned 23. He had a brilliant season in the Bundesliga. Now that is a proper league. So to do really well for a team that aren't that fancied in Frankfurt and get them in a position for Champions League football next year. He can play as a 1 and as 2. Marmoush, who went to Man City, the Egyptian boy, he had a really good understanding with him as a 2. So we might see that at times this season. He has the flexibility to be out wide, to be a little bit deeper. He knows how to score goals. He knows how to score goals. I quite like business being done early. We've seen Liverpool do a lot of business, but also to see, in terms of, as a young player in his career already, he has never experienced the size of football club that Liverpool is. And to experience it, yes, you'll see it at Anfield, but when you go on these pre-season tours, you get to see how big the football club is worldwide. And he'll be amazed about, wow. And I think that is a really big, important factor for new signings, to get them in and say, you've seen Anfield on Champions League nights and Premier League days, now go and watch it pre-season and feel it yourself. 20,000 for training.
Yeah,
this is how big the club is.
Pete said there, Gary, 27,000 people turning out on Thursday just to watch Liverpool train, and to put that into context, there was 22,000 who watched AC Milan play Arsenal in Singapore.
He added that little dig into against Arsenal, didn't he? No, I think we've seen it in numerous occasions when Liverpool go either to the States or even to like Australia or even to the Far East. You know, the fans turn out in their thousands, and there is a big global demand for Liverpool Football Club, hence the reason we are the club that we are. And I think it's sometimes, from a young man's point of view and a young player's point of view and perspective, it does take a bit of getting used to it. But I think the one thing that he's going into is a happy bunch of players. You've got the likes of all the senior players there. You've got like the Van Dijks, the Andrew Robertsons, the Mohamed Salahs, all these guys, and like Alisson Becker. They'll make him settle pretty quickly, I would have thought, to be quite honest with you. And as I say, he's going into a successful squad, and hopefully he can add to Liverpool's success in the coming year.
I also believe that if you're signing for that sort of money, the pressure isn't there. He has to be the main man. Do you know, sometimes a big signing, and he'll have to do.
I don't think I disagree with that. I don't think he needs to be the big man, because like the big men at this moment in time at the Liverpool Football Club are Alisson Becker, Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. That's where the pressure is with these three. I think he's a young man finding his way. I don't think the price tag will be any burden on him whatsoever.
But that's a positive. That's what I'm saying. The pressure isn't there where he's got to be at it, because he knows he can look there and see other top world-class players.
He will have aspirations, of course, of hitting the ground running. I mean, one thing everyone does these days is scour YouTube as soon as we sign a new player to pick out his best bits. And what people will have seen this week, I know you've been looking yourself, Gary, is he scores all types of goals, a variety of goals in his locker.
Yeah, I don't think he's an out-and-out striker. I think Neil made the point that he can play in a number of positions in the front three, which I think that's probably what Liverpool have looked at and thought, well, possibly we could use him as a wide left player. We could certainly use him through the middle. Even play him as a number 10 possibly as well. So I think there's a number of positions that he can play, and he scores all sorts of goals. Technically, I think he's very gifted. And what I like about football players and like what I look for in football players is a football brain, and he looks to me as if he's got a football brain.
Because he creates as well as scores. So
I think he's got something like 16 assists as well as goals throughout his young career at this moment in time.
Well, the big question is, does Hugo get some game time today? I think we'd all be delighted to see him out there, wouldn't we, in Hong Kong for the Reds? But who does get the start today? Peter McDowell's got all the details.
Well, we'll do our best because we are fighting a huge PA system here, and the introductions are just taking place to some of the dignitaries here today. The dignitaries that we are most interested in, of course, is that Liverpool starting 11. Florian Wirtz makes his unofficial debut for Liverpool in that starting lineup tonight, in front of a crowd, of course, and also a start for 16-year-old Rio Ngamoa. Let's confirm the 11 that Arne Slot will start with here, and indications are that it will be two teams like you've been used to seeing so far as well. So the starting 11 is Alisson Becker in goal for the Reds tonight. Virgil van Dijk captains the team. Dominic Szoboszlai, Mo Salah, Harvey Elliott, Andy Robertson, Ryan Gravenberch, who we assume will play one of the three players that will play 60 minutes tonight. Florian Wirtz, Rio Ngamoa, Tyler Morton and Lucas Stevenson is the starting 11. And I've got Sammy Hoopier with me as well. We're trying to put the players together as where they might play. What do you kind of assume might be this Liverpool formation tonight?
Yeah, it looks like I don't think we are playing with three at the back, so I think Ryan Gravenberch will probably go as a centre back, and I see that there's no centre forward in the team, so probably the midfield players have a role to rotate, and somebody will be on the top in the central attack position some stage. So, but we will see a lot of rotation from the midfielder.
Florian Wirtz does appear tonight. Liverpool fans inside here watching at home are desperate to see what he can offer.
Yeah, for me too. He's very skillful in between the lines. That he can control the ball in the small spaces and turn, and he's a good dribbler of the ball, good going past people. So and then we have to make the runs for him, that he can see the passes, that he will attract a lot of defenders around him, and maybe somebody is free to score.
A lot of attacking midfielders in there, which offers intrigue, doesn't it? Harvey Elliott's played as a false nine before. Dominic Szoboszlai, Florian Wirtz. We don't have Eddie McAllister inside there either. You wonder how those players might fit into this starting 11 when the season starts.
Yeah, a lot of rotation, and I don't know Arne's ideas that if the team will be that there's more attacking-minded players on the field, but you have to have some kind of security in front of the centre backs anyway, because the full-backs will be going forward. So it's interesting to see today how it shapes.
No Joe Gomez in the squad. You instantly look at that as a centre-back, and we hope that the injury is not too serious, but he is back in England now. We just have to keep our fingers crossed he can recover quick.
Yeah, I'm very sad for Joe, because he had these injury problems in the past, and everyone wants to be healthy and fit to play. So I was lucky in my career that I didn't have big injuries. So, but he's had his toll, and hopefully it's not bad, and it's just a precaution, and he will be back in training when the team is going back to England.
I think we're 3 games in now, aren't we? As a player at this stage, are you wanting to get towards 75 minutes, or are you quite happy to be pulled out of the action after 45?
I think they've worked hard for the fitness. I think holiday. You say that I'm on holiday, but you are putting the time and the effort on holiday as well, and I don't think anyone comes to the pre-season unfit.
Yeah.
So I think the progressive build-up for the season is the best, and yeah, it depends on the individual, that if they are in the shape of 45 minutes or 75 or even the whole game.
Yeah. No centre forward, as Sammy mentioned, there in evidence in that starting lineup tonight, but they have added one. And Hugo Ekitike, who we caught up with yesterday, he's always had a recognised number 9, natural finisher at the top of the pitch in all of his career, Arne Slot. And there's great excitement about this lad.
Yeah, very exciting player. That he's pretty tall, but he's probably better on the floor than in the air. So interesting prospect, and from the start, I think when he gets a few balls into the goal, he gets his confidence, and then it's a positive way for him forward.
Well, thank you for now, Sammy. He's going to be back with us later on. Atmosphere is brilliant inside here, you know, not just the PA system that's booming. You can see all the traditional dance taking place.
We can join in to the dance.
It's a Hong Kong football festival, and we will see lots of this in the lead up to kick-off tonight, and also some special commemorations as well. And we're going to be joined by Lucas Leiva a little bit later on as we discuss what might be in evidence here on the pitch for Liverpool this evening.
Wow, what an atmosphere. Absolutely bouncing over in Hong Kong. Everyone very excited to see the Reds against AC Milan this afternoon, or this evening as it is over there. No Joe Gomez, as Pete said. We will hear from Arne Slot very shortly on more on that Joe Gomez injury in a few minutes' time. But first, let's get the thoughts of Gary and Mel's on that Liverpool side. Mel's a very attacking lineup there, and lots of excitement within that starting 11, which may well change at half-time.
I want to see Big Sammy dancing like he said he would do over there. Great to see him looking so well. I mean, straight away you're looking at the starting lineup and one name stands out, Florian Wirtz. we cannot wait to watch him. How his relationship will be with Mo Salah. There's a sprinkling of academy players as well, which you always expect in these sort of games. Stevenson, who did really well in the Preston game, we think he might be centre-half. I know Sammy mentioned Gravenberch might be there, but I think maybe Stevenson might be alongside Virgil van Dijk. We don't have a natural right-back in the side, so I'm thinking maybe Szoboszlai, because he played there against Stoke in the behind closed doors game. And I think in pre-season you get to see little systems, tactics, which you might implement during the season at some point. And with no recognised number 9, remember last season, Man City, where we went with sort of two 10s? That might be today, where we've got Harvey Elliott and Wirtz as sort of the two 10s, furthest up, and that flexibility to interchange, and Engamo and Salah running in behind.
Yeah, they're always slightly tough ones to call formation-wise, these pre-season games, Gary, but how do you anticipate Arne Slot managing it?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I think looking forward to the season, I think Gravenberch might figure a little bit more often as a centre-back than maybe what we saw last season. I would suggest that he plays centre-back alongside Virgil van Dijk, and Stevenson will play right full-back. That would be my choice. Whether that is the case or not, I don't know. But again, it is interesting to see, obviously, the formation going forward with no recognised number like number 9. But Liverpool have played that way for a long time, really, when you think about it. Before, you know, you had the likes of like Bobby Firmino that played like that kind of false number 9. So I don't think that is a problem for them. It'll be interesting to see. This is the first time in, what, 5 or 6 years or something like that? Well, maybe not as long as that. But it's the first time we've like signed so many players in pre-season. The excitement of the fans to see all these new players is like through the roof, basically. And it's just unfortunate that you can't seem to play them all at the one time. So I'm sure it'll change through like the course of the game. But obviously Wirtz is the one that everybody wants to see.
Yeah, well, let's speak more about him. As Gary says, the boss is spoilt for choice. But he did, of course, play against Stoke in the behind closed doors game, Mels. But this is the game that everyone feels is almost like his debut, if you like, in front of supporters. And I know you, like everyone else, can't wait to get a glimpse.
He's an absolute superstar, really. He's only 22. He's been the best player in the Bundesliga. I think you have to say how brave he's been to leave Germany, because let's be honest, he's the main player for Germany in Musiala, and for him to leave Germany, he could have gone to Bayern Munich and take that step here to Liverpool at Anfield is a really, really big step. His ability I've watched him, and when you watch him, you just cannot wait to watch him. I felt like that with Salah for many years, and it's going to be like this for Wirtz in terms of creating chances, scoring goals. I think the Liverpool fans will absolutely love him. So the first glimpse today, looking forward to it, really am.
It's his vision as well, isn't it, Gary? He seems to see things that second or two before everyone else, which obviously it makes all the difference.
Well, again, I go back to like what I said before, like football intelligence, and like I think the more intelligent players that you have, the better you've got like a chance of being successful. And couple that with the technical ability that he's got as well. And the biggest thing I always like in forward players is seeing things that other players don't see and seeing them early. And I think he's got that in abundance. I haven't watched him an awful lot. I tend to like be one of these pundits that sits back and like makes my own judgment when I see him playing for Liverpool in the Premier League. And it's a different league to the Bundesliga. As much as the Bundesliga is technically maybe the same as and physically maybe up to the same level as the Premier League, the Premier League is that little bit different. So I'll hold my and bide my time with them. But in saying that, as I said before, it's the excitement that like new players generate within the club. And again, this is like the first time we've done it from a position of strength for a long, long time. I think the last time when you think about like the excitement, like Andy Robertson coming in, Virgil van Dijk coming in, and the likes of Salah before, and the goalkeeper Alisson Becker, we haven't seen that an awful lot of times under like the managers like Jurgen Klopp and the ownership of FSG. So this is a big season for them. They've invested a heck of a lot of money. Hopefully it reaps and pays dividends come the end of the season.
I think the signing also tells world football we are one of the best sides in the world, and we're going to be there because Virgil signed his contract, Salah signed his contract, we're Premier League champions, and we are so attractive for these top players in world football to want to come and play at Liverpool. So it's a massive signing.
It's felt like a real statement summer, hasn't it, Gary?
Absolutely, and I mean, according to rumour, like, I mean, it doesn't seem as if we're actually finished in the transfer market. So you know, yeah, I think it's a season that everybody will be looking forward to. And this is pre-season. Like, what we've got to remember is like it's all building up to that first game against Bournemouth. Obviously, the Community Shield is like a big game as well. But in saying that, it's the first game against Bournemouth that counts, really.
It does indeed. Right, let's head back to the Ekitike Stadium now. Peter McDowell has been speaking to Arne Slot. Here he is, the boss.
Well, Arne, it's been a tough week in testing humidity. How would you assess the work so far for the team?
Oh, we've worked really well. Good as well. Circumstances in terms of the heat have not always been perfect, but we've managed to work our way through it. We could train once here in an air-conditioned stadium, so players are in a good place. Most of them are fit or have minor issues, so happy and pleased how the first weeks have been.
How will you plan to utilise the squad tonight? Will we see two different teams again? What are the plans?
Yeah, because we want to train the next days intense as well. So if you play players longer than 60 minutes, then it's going to be difficult to train good with them on Monday and Tuesday again in terms of intensity, because Wednesday is another game. So if we had enough players, everyone would have played 45, but we have, like I said, a few minor issues, so that means I have 19 players available. 3 will play 60 and 16 will play 45 minutes.
One of those issues is to do with Joe Gomez. Presumably he's not part of the squad tonight.
No, he isn't. He was, of course, with us for the first part of the week, but he had some Achilles problems. We thought it was better to assess it back in England, and for him to work on him to come back to the team, probably in more ideal circumstances for him than be part of the group that every time go out. And so we decided to let him go back to England, but we hope and expect to have him back soon.
Good luck tonight. Thank you.
The thoughts of the boss there. So it's been a week now in Hong Kong for the Reds, and from the moment they touched down, it was double sessions in sticky, humid conditions. Tough going, but it will all be worth it come the start of this season.
The manager said it was a light session to start the week with, so we are curious to see what tomorrow will bring. But no, it was a good session to get used to the weather and everything. So yeah, now we go back to the hotel.
It's actually very warm, but it's nice. We are now in Hong Kong, and yeah, we're making ourselves ready for the competition again.
Yeah, it's been really good, intense. That's how we like to train. We're adapting to the heat still, but it's good. All the guys train hard, and we're getting really ready physically.
Amazing, really. I feel like, training here in Hong Kong is a beautiful place, and also the sessions are intense and tough, but as a footballer, you love training, you love playing on the pitch every day. So yeah, it's been very good.
Worked hard last season, had a really good loan, so I think it's all the hard work last year was worth it to get back on this trip and get another experience with the boys here. There's not too many young lads here. It's more of a senior group. When I came last year, there was like a fair few young lads there. Where this year it's more of a senior, so I think it feels kind of even better to feel like you're with more senior boys and kind of learning from more senior players. Yeah.
We grew into pre-season for obvious reasons, and now we are here, and I think the intensity will go up, and we have to prepare for the season.
I think now everyone is here from the start. Last season there was the Euros, so was a lot of people that weren't there, but now we can start again with everyone and make a really nice pre-season.
When I came, it just surprised me also how professional everything is and how high level everything is, and that you really have to work hard every single day and to compete. It's the highest level. So that surprised me, but that's also what I was looking for. So I'm really happy. Fans in front of hotel, and yesterday in the stadium, like you said, was full, and I knew before we came that really a lot of fans who Liverpool has in Asia, around the world. So yeah, it's really nice and good support that you have everywhere around the world. It's the big club, so it's how it should be.
Obviously the stadium just over there looks beautiful, so I can't wait to play. So yeah, it'll be good.
Will be good also for me to get more minutes and get adapted more to my teammates. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's my old team. I have good memories there, and I'm looking forward to it.
Even when we arrived at the hotel, a lot of people cheering for us. So like they say, you never walk alone. They are everywhere. So yeah, it's amazing, and we are looking forward to the game there with a lot of people.
Yeah, there have been some gruelling sessions for the lads in pre-season so far. It doesn't feel like the players of today dread pre-season quite as much as maybe previous generations. Did you look forward to pre-season, Miles? Was it one of the worst times?
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, pre-season, as a player, you condition your mind. It's going to be tough. It's the basis for your whole season to help you. But you've got to get through it, and as tough as it is, and it is tough because they'll play the game today and there'll be no rest period like there would be during the season. Yeah. It's to maintain a really tough schedule. And the biggest thing about pre-season, I mean, for me as a player, I'm sure for a lot of the players, is get through it. Just get through it. So when the first game of the season is, you're available for selection, and it's different for all the players. So Salah and Van Dijk know they'll be playing the first game of the season. For some of the players, they are genuinely fighting for a starting place. There's not too many starting places up for grabs, but there are one or two which thinks, can I stand out a little bit more in training and some of these games?
Yeah, we've seen, obviously, Gary, not just in training, but the games, 2 games so far this season as well. The intensity has been so high, and as Mel says, with so much competition for places now, everyone has to just give their all, whether it's pre-season or obviously a Premier League game.
Well, I think you've got to start how you mean to go on,
yeah.
And that's like what Liverpool's success was built on. It's been built on that for a number of years, right through like the Jurgen Klopp days, and I think it's something that you look at other sides and, like, for whatever reason, they can't seem to match Liverpool's intensity. You watch the Preston game, even in the Preston game, you think, blinking heck, that's that's really intense. Yeah. 3-4 players round the opposition, trying to win the ball back. When they win it back, they go with pace and attack with pace. And I think it's really part of the way that Liverpool want to play. And as I say, I don't think that's a thing that you can just switch it on and switch off again. You have to have that right from the start, and I think we've seen that. I think you watch the little games that they play in training with the little goals and everything like that. The intensity of the training there is quite incredible.
In terms of just watching them warming up, Mels, I mean, they're going to be playing it in around 30 degrees this game tonight, even though it's 8:30 kickoff Hong Kong time. It is still sweltering out there. I mean, how tough is it to play in those temperatures?
Yeah, not nice at all, and quite unusual. They won't get to experience that too often during the season. Maybe at the odd time, but again, that's part of pre-season. In challenging conditions, uncomfortable conditions, But you know, the big thing for Liverpool is to go out to the Far East and be around the fan base which don't get the chance to come to Anfield. So that's what these pre-season tours can often be in terms of commercial. And yeah, I'm a big believer in pre-season as well, in terms of don't like too much disruption, and I think this is what will benefit Liverpool this year. There's no World Cup, there's no Euros, so the players are there early to do the work early. And as Gary mentioned with that Preston game, the levels were high in the first pre-season game, so I'm expecting the same again today. It's not a case of the lads would have switched off for 6 weeks and they come back out of condition. They're in good condition. They're in really good condition, raring to go and excited because we're Premier League champions.
Yeah, for Arne Slot, I suppose that the preparation football-wise has been so much better this time around, because last year he had to contend with players coming back at different times because of the Euros, the Copa America as well. So it must be hugely beneficial for him to have everyone back at the same time on the same schedule.
Yeah, well, I think as a head coach, you never have there's never an ideal world, is there? Like, there's always something that goes on. You know, you look at like the little injuries, the little niggles that players have picked up. So there's never an ideal situation from a manager's point of view. But if there is anything like that resembles somewhere like close to that, it's probably this season. And as I say, you want to get all your business, all your new players that are coming into the football club, if you can get them in as early as possible and settle down. And this is like another thing about like pre-season, which I think a lot of clubs like miss out on, or like a lot of like other teams. It's not just about the fitness, it's about the camaraderie like that you build up on these little tours, and the team bonding that you have to see you through like the next 10 months, of which is a very, very arduous season with an awful lot of games, an awful lot of ups, an awful lot of downs. There's lows as well as highs in like in being a professional footballer. And I think it's like these kind of like bonds that you build in pre-season that can help you through the coming football season as a whole.
We spoke about Florian Wirtz. Let's speak about another new signing in Jeremy Frimpong, who feels like he's been around the squad for ages. He's clearly going to be a fan's favourite, always got a big smile on his face. Used to be in the northwest of England, of course, as well, because spent almost a decade with Manchester City's academy. But it feels like he's got a lot of qualities that are going to really benefit this Liverpool side, not least his pace, one of the fastest players in the Bundesliga last season.
And we should just say he played in the Youth Cup final against Liverpool and lost when he was at Man City, so have a bit of that alongside Cole Palmer. So yeah, he knows England. He doesn't know the Premier League because he's not played in the Premier League. He went up to Scotland with Celtic before, did brilliantly at Leverkusen. I think he offers flexibility. You mentioned about that pace. I mean, they'll all love that. Who's the quickest in the squad? You'd probably bet on this lad. He's so explosive.
I think he officially is now, isn't he?
Yeah, but maybe more natural as a right back. It's not his position, so I think he's got to learn that in how that needs to be played at Liverpool. But going forward, I think that will really excite Liverpool fans. I think he got 14 goals the year Leverkusen won the league, but that was right wing back rather than in a back four. So I think he's got the option as well in certain games to play higher up. We might even see that at some point during pre-season. So yeah, another player who's done very well at Leverkusen, and we'll see how he does at Liverpool.
OK, thanks guys. So just a reminder to you watching at home, if you're watching us on All Red Video, LFC TV or YouTube memberships, the live match will follow on from our build-up show. However, if you're watching on social media or our free YouTube channel, due to rights restrictions, your stream is going to end before kick-off. So to find out how you can watch the match, go right now to our website, video.liverpoolfc.com. Further details will be on screen throughout our show. So coming up in our build-up, we'll hear from Alisson ahead of the game, then on to the action itself. John Bradley and Gary Gillespie here are going to guide you through every single kick. Then come full-time, Jason McAteer is going to come into the studio with Mels and myself to look at all the best bits from over in Hong Kong. Now let's have a quick reminder for you, if you weren't watching a little bit earlier on, of the starting lineup for Liverpool this afternoon. It is as follows. Alisson starts in goal today. It's Virgil van Dijk, Dominic Szoboszlai, Mohamed Salah, Harvey Elliott, Andy Robertson, Ryan Gravenberch, Florian Wirtz, Rio Ngamoa, Tyler Morton and Luca Stevenson are the starting 11 today. A quick look at the bench, and we would expect many of these to make an appearance throughout the afternoon. Freddie Woodman, Georgi Mamardashvili, Ibu Konate, Curtis Jones, Cody Gakpo, Kostas Tsimikas, Ben Doak, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong, Connor Bradley and Trey Nyoni make up the subs bench today. And as for AC Milan, because of their Club World Cup exploits, there's no summer signing Luka Modric or forward Santiago Jimenez. So Massimiliano Allegri goes with this side today. You will see there are a few really recognisable names in there. Maignan in goal, as Ruben Loftus-Cheek in midfield. Rafael Leao and Christian Pulisic start for Milan today, and they'll have a very experienced back three of Tomori, Thiaw and Pavlovic as well. Now, for the moment, let's cross back over to the Ekitike Stadium and back to Peter McDowell, who's working hard this afternoon. Pete.
Yeah, thank you and welcome back, guys. Liverpool players, of course, warming up. We've also been joined by Lucas Leiva, who's been part of this Liverpool Legends team all week. And it's funny, at this stage of the pre-season, Lucas, you're kind of looking at the team, the squad's strength, and wondering what kind of 10 months are in front. And loads of neutrals are hoping that Liverpool kind of fall away from here. But what feeling do you get about the season that might be ahead for them?
Yeah, of course, you try to guess by the first starting 11 and who might start the first game of the season. But still early days, still the fitness is the most important thing right now. But we can see we have two very strong teams. You know, some of them will probably get some more minutes today. And yeah, I think it will be a great opportunity to see how they've been doing this pre-season. So looking forward to the game.
What feeling do you get, Sam, about this season ahead now? They're Premier League champions, came very close in the Champions League as well. Could this be a period of dominance now for Liverpool, do you think?
Yeah, I hope so. But I think everyone a year ago was talking that we are not doing any signings. We managed to win the league. And now we have strengthened the squad, and there are some new faces and good players as well. But that doesn't say that we will win the league again. But we are in all 4 competitions, and we are fighting for them all. And what would be great in the end of the season that we won all 4.
You've been watching training all week, Lucas. You talked about the intensity of the sessions, double sessions every single day, and they got an afternoon off yesterday. Are there still hallmarks from when you were playing only a short time ago, or do you feel that intense level of pre-season has maybe even stepped up since you were playing?
I'm sure it's stepped it up. I'm sure of that. I think the technology today, the sports science around, you know, it's 24/7. So for sure that it will help the intensity and also prevent injuries. Yeah. I was speaking with Curtis the other day, and he said with the roof as well closed, you know, it's a little bit fresher inside the stadium, which allowed them to increase the intensity. So yeah, like I said, it's a great test today. Of course, the result is not so important, but we want to see signs as well of the new team that is forming at the moment.
They did get an afternoon off yesterday, Sam. Some went to bed, some went shopping. An afternoon off at this stage of the season must feel monumental. It must feel like someone giving you £1 million.
Yeah, it is. But I think the balance between the load and then the rest is very important. And if the manager feels that they have been working very hard and they get an afternoon off, I think they deserve it. And you need sometimes get off of the normal routine and going to shopping or going to the pool for a while. I think that only makes good for everyone.
Which area of the pitch are you most intrigued with tonight, Lucas, and over the next couple of weeks and the season ahead? Which area of the pitch?
I think midfield, of course. We have some new signings. We really looking forward to see how Wirtz will operate. It seems that he will play inside. We know that he can play wide, but I think midfield is something that I'm really looking forward to see it.
What about you, Sam? Which area?
Well, of course, I'm interested in the central defense area. It's very sad that Joe is not there, and I think we are excited to see that. I would be surprised that if we didn't get another centre back in, and I'm looking to that how it shapes, and obviously the new players are interesting for me to see as well with Florian as well.
What about the youngsters as well, Lucas? You look at, young Rio, who hasn't been able to train all week because of his age. They have to manage the load. Trey Ione as well, who you've been really interested in looking at. There'll be decisions to be made around those young players now. Is it best for them to go out or stay here as a learning experience?
Of course, pre-season will tell as well. Of course, you have to be careful with the load. We know that they cannot do the same as the other guys. As I said, it's important as well to prevent injury. Really looking forward to see Bradley. I think he's grown so much, and it seems that he'll probably be the first choice. So yeah, so many young players. Elliot still very young, but seems that a senior player. Curtis Jones. So the academy has done a fantastic job, and I hope that they continue like that.
Great to see you as always, gents. We'll catch up with them again as time goes. Feels like a cup final in here. The noise, the sea of red behind the goal, which we were so used to seeing at Anfield last season. Really looking forward to hearing You'll Never Walk Alone a little bit later, and we'll be back and forth with reaction to this game a little bit later on.
Yeah, an electric atmosphere over in Hong Kong, and we're getting our money's worth out of Peter McDowell today, because earlier on he spoke to Alisson Becker. Here they are.
Well, Ali, the quality in the training sessions has been evident. Is it match sharpness that we're in search of tonight?
Yeah, of course. It's been intense pre-season for us here. A few challenges, the jet lag, the weather as well is hotter than we are used to in UK. But of course, it's been intense. It's good for us. High quality from the team. And tonight here we're gonna face a big challenge. It's good for this time of the year that we can prepare, we can train. But of course, every game we're gonna play wearing this shirt, we have to give our all, and trying to improve things, implement new things, but also focusing on winning the game.
There were 25,000 inside here to watch you train the other night. There'll be 50,000 inside here tonight. Lots of people watching at home. Lots of excitement about what the season might bring.
Yeah, I think everybody's excited. The fans, everybody. We are excited as well. Of course, we achieved great things last season, but that's a basis for us for what's coming next. We know how hard it is to win title, to win titles, win the Premier League, win the Champions League, the Cups, and we're going to do what is necessary for us to be ready to be there. It's not a guarantee, but we're going to fight a lot. We're going to prepare ourselves in the best way as we can, and be prepared for what is coming on.
And new players as well, are they settling in well? They've been part of the group this week?
Yeah, they are. All of them are hard workers. I think it's something that is needed to come to this team, to play here, playing with passion, with desire. You can see that all the players are hungry for winning big things, for achieving big things. I think that's why they joined this club, for the opportunity and to be part of something big. And they are showing their qualities as well. And I'm really happy that they can improve even more. A team that have so much quality.
Thanks, Ali. Good luck.
Cheers.
The thoughts of Alisson Becker, who starts against AC Milan today for Liverpool. And just to show you some more from the Ekitike Stadium, some really emotional scenes in the last few minutes. The fans paying a special tribute ahead of this game as Sir Kenny Dalglish, you can see him there, lays a wreath in honour of Diogo Jota and of course his brother Andre Silva as well. That comes after today's confirmation by the club of plans to create a permanent memorial sculpture at Anfield. Yeah, incredibly emotional scenes there, and no doubt, although as Arne Slot says, Mels, they have to be a football club and do their job. Diogo and his brother always in their thoughts.
Still difficult now, isn't it? I'm sure that would be the case for majority, if not all, games this season. I think the players will come together, in terms of the professionalism, the team camaraderie, which is going to be needed this season. I think the fans will, without a doubt, will play a huge impact this season to really help the players on the pitch. but there's no getting away from just still how raw and emotional it is, and seeing Sir Kenny lay that wreath there, it's just reminds us all how sad and tragic the news has been this summer.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really emotional time, wasn't it? Like the Preston game. I'm sure the players will be quite happy that's behind them, and try and move on and move forward from it. But there's no getting away like the tragic loss of both lads at such a young and early age. And you know, who knows what was ahead of them in their life. And sadly, that will never be experienced.
Thank you both very much indeed. That is us out of time for the moment. Just a reminder, if you are watching us on All Red Video, LFC TV or YouTube memberships, the live match is up after the break. However, if you're watching on social media or our free YouTube channel, due to rights restrictions, your stream will end before kick-off. So to find out how to watch the match, go to video.liverpoolfc.com right now. OK, for now, that's us out of time on this build-up. On the other side of the break, though, Gary here and John Bradley will guide you through all the action into the break. Look out for a teaser of our latest episodes of Bezies. It's a good one, a new signing special with Jeremy Frimpong and Florian Wirtz. It goes out in full on LFC channels on Sunday. Enjoy the game.